Hello, this is Brian with sunscreen all over my face. I just applied because it's going to be a warm sunny day today here in the San Gabriels once again. I am on the Silver Moccasin Trail. I am headed over to Hillyer, Mount Hillyer, and I'm going to take the Silver Moccasin Trail to about Horse Flats Campground. You just come from Angeles Crest Highway. You turn into the Chilao Visitor Center, follow the paved road all the way to a small little marked area, which is part of the Silver Moccasin Trailhead. This area is beautiful here in Chilao, with lots of coulter pines, Jeffrey pines, big cone Douglas fir, some incense cedars, lots of beautiful chaparral shrubs like this interior live oak right here, Quercus wislizeni variety frutescens, and it looks like this one's going to have acorns for this year. Last year the interior live oaks really didn't have that much. Here's another interior live oak. This is the shrubby variety frutescens. Variety wislizeni is a tree, but frutescens can form a small tree, but more often it's a thicket-forming shrub. But when they get older and larger and haven't been disturbed by fire, they tend to become more arborescent and develop the characteristic dark bark of the tree species or tree variety. So there's quite a bit of interior live oak here. And of course canyon live oak, Quercus chrysolipus. And this trail should be switchbacking through chaparral and scattered pines. And then I'm going to take the Hillyer trail from Horse Flats, and that should take me up to the summit. Should be about 5.5 miles round trip, and just under 1,000 feet of gain. Shouldn't be too strenuous, especially considering the long hike I did to Will Thrall Peak just 2 days ago with my buddy. He's sitting this one out, and I'm just going to follow this trail up to the top or by the campground, and then I'll take the use trail to the summit. See you along the way with interesting finds. Here we have a fairly common shrub found in the chaparral in the San Gabriels, blue stem kekiella, or blue stem penstamen. This is Kekiella ternata variety ternata. Fairly common in chaparral. As you can see, when the weather gets dry for long periods of time, the leaves change color and fall off, almost like an autumn feel. And here we have a hollyleaf cherry, I believe, making sure. Yes, very similar to hollyleaf redberry. This is Prunus ilicifolia, subspecies ilicifolia. You'll commonly see those along Angeles Crest Highway coming up from the chaparral environs. Looks like this trail meanders through some pretty lovely chaparral. Got lots of manzanita. We got the common chamise, and then we get views of the upper Chilao area, full of all those beautiful pine family conifers. I will see you with more updates up the way. Well, here we are looking out over Chilao, and we have a couple of peaks up ahead. These two right here. The right one is Mount Mooney, 5,850. This one here is Devil Peak, which is maybe about 20 feet higher. And then looking over here to the right of this coulter pine is Vetter Mountain. I hiked up Vetter and Mooney back in April, and that was a pretty nice hike, pretty lovely area. And here we are looking out towards San Gabriel Peak, Mount Disappointment, Mount Lawler, Strawberry Peak, which is the highest peak in the Front Range. And off behind this coulter pine here is Josephine Peak, which is another rugged peak in the area. And here we are hiking up. Gotten some shade and some coulter pines. So it's nice to see a little shade action for a little while. It is kind of warm today, but not as bad as it was the other day. Even up at 7,000, almost 8,000 feet was pretty hot. But the scenery here is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Looking down in this ravine where there are conifers galore. And I love my conifer forest. You've probably seen on my videos. And we can see that rocky peak to the left of the coulter pine, to the left of San Gabriel Peak, which is Mount Markham. It's supposed to be a pretty short but rugged climb. Haven't done that one yet. That one, I believe you got to watch out for a lot of poodle dog bush. I'm going to be out on the lookout for it when I get up towards where the fire burnt. I believe it did reach parts of Hillyer. So I just got to be on the lookout for poodle dog bush up there. If you're hiking into the San Gabriels, especially the western end, I mean anywhere, but especially the western end, you got to be on the lookout for it. If I see it, I will show you what it looks like. Other than that, onward and upward. Well, I can see the long ridge of Mount Hillyer. It's supposed to be one of the higher bumps along the ridge. The highest bump, I believe, is unofficially named, or actually not named as far as I could tell. I think one of the lower bumps that's about 6,162 feet, I believe, is supposed to be Hillyer. But the actual ridge goes up to just shy of actually a few feet over 6,200 feet. So this is the ridge I'm going to be going towards. I'm going to try to hit the summit, and then I'm going to try to hit up the actual high point. So I am now on the Mount Hillyer trail. I came from back there, which is Horse Flats Campground. The trail is marked, and from the campground it is about 2 miles to the summit. Once you get to the junction by the campground, you have a little dip, and then it looks like it starts climbing finally. So we can gain some elevation here. We are predominantly now in Jeffrey Pine Forest. Nice, beautiful open stand. And I can see some sugar pines up on the ridge. So far this is a pretty beautiful scenic hike. See lots of open stands of pines. Very pleasant. Not super steep so far, but it looks like the steepness picks up a little bit here, but onward and upward. See you up the trail. Well, I'm still on the lovely Mount Hillyer trail. Getting a little hot up here. Had to get some cold water out. Here are all the boulders that I've been reading about. Definitely, it's like a very rugged, beautiful area. Lots of old manzanitas here. I think this might be Arctostaphylos periana, subspecies periana, the Perry manzanita, which is supposed to be found in this area. We're getting close to the 6,000 foot mark. I don't know if we're quite at it just yet, but we should be getting to it pretty soon. And then just kind of keep going up this ridge line. Look at all, now we're starting to see more sugar pines mixing in. So, beautiful area. This is maybe not the best one to do in the middle of summer. Even though it's not really super hot, it's definitely hot enough to feel it. But I'll see you with more findings and updates when I get to the ridge. See you soon. Well, I have gained the ridge line, and I believe I'm near the highest point, the 6,200 foot contour, where Mount Hillyer, Mount Hillyer's ridge summit is. I don't even know if there's going to be a marker here. I'm going to poke around and look around just a little bit more to see if I could find the actual high point. But the summit marker might not be where the high point is. It might be in a slightly lower elevation off that way, I believe. I did spot a poodle dog bush up ahead. There's not much up here. I've only seen maybe a couple up here, but just keep your eyes out. I'm going to go see if that's the actual summit over there. This is what you want to avoid. This is the poodle dog bush. Most of it up here is dying off, but don't touch it. Whatever you do, could get a pretty bad rash out of it, so I'm trying to avoid it like the plague as I see if this is the actual high point of Hillyer. Well, here I am. I'm on the highest point that I've seen so far, which is a little bouldery outcrop. I don't see a marker or a register, but I do see a little use trail, very short one to get to here. I believe this is the highest point, but I'm going to head over there to find out for sure. I want to see if that's actually the high point. Well, I took a small use trail from the Mount Hillyer trail, and I'm on a bouldery outcrop right now. I don't know if this is the named summit, but it was supposed to be at the end of that use trail. This might be it. I don't see a register or anything, but I'm going to look around and see if I can find something that could indicate that this is the Mount Hillyer. Maybe a summit register. I mean, I know people come up here because I see old rusty beer cans, but not sure. See lots of holes look like Indian acorn grinding rocks. Moteros, I believe those are. But this seems to be the summit. Just looking around to see if I see a register or something. A Sierra Club register or anything. I believe this is a Sierra Club peak, but I haven't seen any summit registry anywhere around here. So I don't know. Very neat area. Lots of pretty cool boulders to scramble. Maybe some class 2. I'm not really an expert on rock climbing, but this appears to be it. This is where the trail led. Poke around a little bit more and see if I could find a register. Well, as far as I could tell, those rocky outcrops I was walking around, have to be it. I didn't see a register, but I swear this is the use trail. I am happy that I did make it to the 6,200 foot mark. Now it's time to start trudging back to the car. So, enjoying the scenery. Try to stay hydrated on this hike. It gets hot up here. Very nice peaceful area under this sugar pine, Pinus lambertiana. The only noises up here are the sounds of single engine aircraft. Occasional motorcycle that goes by Angeles Crest Highway. So serene up here. I would I would suggest doing this on a cooler day. Today is probably in the 80s, but it's very exposed to the sun. So that's why I suggest doing this more so during cooler weather episodes, which are pretty infrequent in August. Today is August the 6th. So I'm heading back down still. I stopped off over by that pine tree and those boulders just to take a rest. So I'm feeling kind of drowsy from the heat. So I usually good at bringing more water than I need, and I believe I have a little bit more than what I need. I always freeze it, and it's hard to drink it all at once because ice cubes, big ice cubes in the middle of the water, have to melt all the way. But sometimes I just open up multiple ones, and then when they melt down, then I just finish them off. I'll open one, drink it till it's just ice, put it back in, open up another one, do the same thing. It's pretty, I'd say it's a pretty good idea. If your water is ice cold when you drink it, and then the next bit melts, you can reopen another one that you waited from before. Well, going back down, hope to be back to the trailhead within about an hour or a little bit less. But nice, beautiful hike, very scenic. Just recommend doing this during cooler weather. I'll see you with further updates. Well, on my way back down the trail, I found this desert Ceanothus greggii. Quite a few of them along this trail today. This is the largest specimen I've seen so far. It's a beauty. It's in the buckthorn family Rhamnaceae, and it's common, especially on the transmontane, the desert side of the mountains. Figured I'd point that out. Now we're losing elevation. You can tell we're back in the chamise. Now it's just time to head on down. And that was the ridge I was on earlier.